Welcome to Navratri special episode at the Stree Shakti series of the Coffee Con Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum, TEIF, and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is Law, Leadership and Legacy, a conversation with Bithika Anand. We're at AWFS co-working space. Bithika, visionary who redefined how law firms are managed in India. As a founder, chairman and managing director of Legal League Consulting and Human Elevation, she has introduced the concept of professional law firm management, built global partnerships, and mentored hundreds of leaders in the legal ecosystem. With awards like the Women Achievers Excellence Award, recognition from Forbes, she is not only a strategist but also a bridge between business and law. In this conversation, we'll uncover the journey of a woman who turned bold ideas into industry standards and continues to inspire with her mentorship, innovation, and leadership. And we'll also come to know Bithika as a person. So, welcome, Bithika. We had a conversation, and you are a believer in Ma Durga, and she's come and blessing us in this episode. So,
Thanks.
I'm also glad that finally we are doing on such an auspicious first day of Ma Durga.
Yeah, thanks, Amir, first of all, for asking me to be part of this conversation. And of course, it somehow has happened. I'm doing it on Navratri, the first day of Navratras. And I think it's a good, auspicious day, like you said. So let's hope our conversation goes well today.
So let me explain you. There will be 3 rounds: professional journey, personal journey, and a surprise rapid fire round.
Oh
where
my God,
you're in the hot seat,
round.
like you're with Coffee with Karan, and you're getting 2 gifts. So Legal AI 101, which has been autographed, but you have to be witty, fun, and quick. So we'll win this, and Ma Durga's digital power. You're getting
Very
blessings.
nice. Thank
so
you
2
so
books
much.
you're getting. So let's begin. Faridam Line Amir Virani, host at Coffee Corner, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. We help law firms, corporate legal startups, SMEs, world-class technology, software licensing, and tech training solutions. So my first question, Bithika, for your professional journey. How has the journey shaped up, and what were the key defining moments you had?
So I think my professional journey has been really good. Of course, some of the things were not that planned. I started by obviously being a CA and wanted to do company secretaries and become a lawyer, in fact. At that time, when I was before actually getting into college, I did think, but I don't know what happened. I don't remember that much. But I remember now that instead of doing law and company secretaries, I ended up doing chartered accountancy. And of course, I think, even company secretary, I think I did about 3, whatever they have, like 3 years of it, and then didn't complete it, of course, and I became a CA. So I think after that, of course, I joined SB Bilimoria and Company, which was one of the good CA firms, and they ultimately also merged with Deloitte. So that was also one of my key defining moments, was that I always wanted to work with a large CA firm. And I still remember that I went for the interview, and I never thought that I'm going to get selected. But it was really, I didn't believe it, but I got selected. And I think I worked there for about 10 years. So if you see my professional journey, I have worked in very few companies, or I would say I had long stints. So first was SB Bilimoria and Company, then I was in KPMG Pete Markham, not for very long. And then a long stint with Amarchand Mangaldas, which was 11 years. And then I started my legal league consulting. Wow. So for each one of them, like I said, I think joining a law firm just happened because Shardul did, I don't know Shardul didn't request me to, join his firm for it to grow to which level they were in and to the another level. So I joined that firm, and I think the change in my life, in my professional journey from being a chartered accountant and working in a law firm was again, is I could say as a defining
Wow.
moment or a defining time for me. And then, of course, I worked in Amarchand. And in Amarchand, what was very interesting was that I joined as a CFO because I was a qualified chartered accountant. But I became a COO because I I started developing all other areas like knowledge management, corporate communications, professionalizing the administration, and so many other areas. And then I got a dual role of a COO, a CFO, and COO. So I think that's how what I would describe my professional journey.
Wow. So, Bithika, I'm a little curious. So, let's build up the conversation. What is the story behind naming of your ye firm, Legal League Consulting? First question. And what made you go into law firm management in those days when it was not heard of in India?
Yeah,
And internationally, it is well established.
right.
And still in India, we are not at that level compared
Correct.
to. So I'm building up my conversation. So let's start with this too.
Yeah. So when I joined Amarchand, Amarchand in fact was the first the firm in India who started the concept of law firm management. And they were the ones who started, they were the first ones to build a brand, and they hired Mudra to do it. So they were the ones. So I got an opportunity to work in Amarchand into all the law firm management areas, which at that time no other firm in India was doing it. So once I had worked there for about 11 years, and of course I got a lot of experience. Then I thought that why not take the same concept to other firms in India? So so that is why of course, at that time, there were no other firms even knew and that was one of the challenges I faced also.
I'm
That the
coming to
firms,
that. I'm coming to this
yeah,
too.
so the firms didn't realize how important it is to grow, if you don't have those business support functions. Uh, so I think my reason for starting it was because I thought that whatever I've learned there, or whatever I think also made a lot of impact on the firm there where I was working. I thought even other firms could also gain from this, and that was. But I still remember I walked out of Amarchand and I had just this idea in my head, and of course. With just that idea, I just started it. But with God's grace, I would say we are finally pretty successful now.
Yeah, I know. So let's, uh, as you said, Kibai, you were the first one. So my question, I'm just framing for you. You pioneered the concept of law firm management in India. Ye- so what was the biggest resistance you faced early on, and how did you navigate them?
See, when I started this with the other firms, obviously they didn't know anything about what was meant by law firm management. So my biggest challenge was that to convince the law firms that this is very good in terms of that will increase their productivity, efficiency. Also, if they have these business support areas, they will be able to increase their business and also grow financially. And I was, of course, very convinced that this would help them. But to convince them was very difficult. And the another challenge that I had was to trust me, because I would be obviously working for many law firms, so they would be sharing how they were working, their inside information. So they said that how can we trust you, so because you'll be working for so many law firms. And my answer to that was, like you are professionals as lawyers, you work for so many clients, right? So you also obviously keep the confidentiality of your clients. The same, I'm also going to be a professional. I am a professional. In fact, who is starting these services or giving these services to you. So if I'm a professional, I would also I'm also going to keep that confidentiality. And believe me, legal fraternity is not that large, okay?
Yeah.
It's not that large. The corporates they work is like a huge fraternity, and the
Yeah.
different sectors, XYZ. But when you're working in a small fraternity, it is not possible that I won't keep the confidentiality, because soon it will be out and I will ruin my business and
Yeah.
nobody's going to come back to me. And I think over a period of time, initially, obviously there was a hesitation, but once I got 2, 3, 4 clients, and they believed in me, in that the trust factor, which is very important in our business.
Yeah.
And once that started, I think we didn't have to look back, and I think they realized that we work under certain kind of, the way we work is that we keep the client's confidentiality close to us, and that then helped. These were the two things, but I would also like to mention a third one was that the product services, okay, still we could create them, but I didn't have people, trained people to do that. So that was a huge challenge again, or a handicap for us. So because then I had to train the people,
Yeah.
how to provide those kind of services. So I would say these 2 or 3, I would really, they were an handicap and our challenges
Wow.
to us.
So when you started, it was already established in what do you say, international market. So did you take any what do you say reference and what do you say changed to Indian context? Was there any reference, or you just started with your vision for the
See,
Indian market?
so I was very convinced that some of these services that we were providing, or some of the that they are very important. So I was convinced. Okay, so there was no convincing from to me. So I was convinced. Once I was convinced, I could convince them. So what was it that you were asking about
Like
the best? What
means
was it?
अपना this practice of law firm management is established during those times in the international market, especially the US, the European.
Yeah,
हाँ.
US.
So did you take any what do you say reference अपना ये some guiding points and tweaked for Indian context?
Obviously, we had to tweak everything as per the Indian firms, because I feel there are two things. One is the best practices, whether they are best practices in India or best practices US or European. See, all jurisdictions, even if you look at Far East or you look at complete West, I think best practices, you may have the basics of the best, but they need to be tweaked to what you need to apply. Even not even if one is jurisdiction, the other is the law firm, and then different law firms also. You can't be having same best practices applied to even different. So when it comes to India, the culture of Indian law firms, or the way we work in India is very different. So we had to tweak all the services, even if there were services that I think you said best practices. So best practices, what they are applying abroad. For example, I just give you a simple example. Now, when we do equity partnership structuring, there are some standards which they apply, in international law firms, like you could say lockstep, or there is, modified lockstep, and there are other structures like that. But when we started looking at India and looking at these structures in Indian law firms, we had to tweak it completely, because it didn't work the way it was working in those firms, because the culture which is which develops over a period of time anywhere, even in the country or even in law firms and different kinds, it develops or it is formed over a period of time.
Yes.
You can't change it suddenly. So therefore, the and another thing I would also like to mention here, any practices, any systems, whether you call them best practices or just system, are not over and above the human beings, no over and above the human resources who are working. So they have to be also, introduced in a firm very subtly, and also I would say they collaboratively. You have to introduce them. You cannot just dump it on people that, okay, this is the practice I want, this is the system, it is done in another jurisdiction, and I think this is best for us, so just do it. So it cannot be. How you introduce these systems are also very important. And obviously, the culture, it depends on the culture, it depends on the evolution of the firm. All those things matter on how you, use those best practices in India
Beautiful.
or in law firms in India.
Wow. So, Bithika, how do you approach strategic planning for law firms in such a rapidly evolving legal landscape in India?
Yeah, so see, there, if you look at India, the trends that we have seen in, over a period of, like, we started legally 15 years back. So even in these 15 years, I've seen so many trends in the legal or the legal fraternity changing, whether it is, if you see the corporates have started spending more on their in-house development of their legal departments. So that is one of the trends. I see a lot of fragmentation happening right now. Lot of partners are starting their own firms,
Yes.
coming out of large law firms, starting their own firms. Lot of startup firms. Also, I have also seen, especially after COVID, people are preferring to have their own firms, independent, and not really work, because there was an impact on their work when the COVID happened.
Yeah.
So people are more looking for, starting their own practices. And there are many such things now. Also, if you see, there's a specialization has come up. Law firms are, preferred by companies who are more specialized.
Yes.
And also more, there's services to be provided directly with the partners, not just by anybody in the firm. So I'm not covered all the trends, but because of these changes that I have seen, technology has come in a big way. Social media, they were never there when I started legally consulting. The social media didn't exist, and this digital marketing didn't exist. There were so many things we have seen changing and has changed in these 15 years. So when you give an advice on the strategy or strategic advice to the firm, obviously you have to keep in mind what is happening around you. And it's not only in the legal fraternity, in the economy, otherwise in the country or in the economy generally, what is happening, what are the new laws coming. There's so many other things. How now we see like over a period of time, cross-border transactions have
Yes.
increased.
Yep.
Globalization happened, years back. But if you see all of this, so you cannot just ignore it and start giving advice to the law firm, how you do. I would even say this, even to decide whether they need to open an office in another jurisdiction, whether it is, you search, let's say you're in Mumbai and you want to start an office in Delhi or Bangalore, it has to be thought through.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and also which practice areas to get into, and why those practice areas
Yes.
you need to get into. So there are so many aspects to be seen, and whether even the leadership team, whether they want to be a boutique firm, niche practice firm, whether they want to be a full service firm. So it is also how the leadership team wants to be, is how the strategy has to evolve. And obviously the financials also have to be kept in mind.
Wow, beautiful answer you have given. So, as you said about the technology, let's cover the technology in what do you say, digital, social media. So, how do you see technology, especially now AI and other tools, shaping the future of law firm management in the next decade?
Definitely, technology is going to make an impact. And still remember when I started legally consulting, at that time also, I was asking the firms, and I was even talking to some companies who could develop products for law firms, like a console for the managing partner where he could see everything sitting in his room. But it was sad at that time, everybody thought, the tech companies never thought legal is a big sector, so they should not be they should be making products for law firms and all that. But of course, we see now Zoho has come up, and so many, Salesforce, Zoho. Obviously, they are not typically making products for law firms, but they can be used.
Yes.
I still remember in Amarchand, those days we had introduced iManage.
Yes.
We had Elite, which was a very good financial software that we use. So in those times, so obviously if firms who could or should have, obviously would have come a long way,
Yeah.
but in many aspects. Obviously, technology is important. They should look at technology, but in my experience, uh, there are only not that many firms who have, taken, used technology. But of course, now, in I would say in the past 5 to 6 years, yes, like IP firms have their own, softwares to use. Then ERPs, some of them have used ERPs. So I see a trend. Obviously, it has increased a lot more, I would say, than was in 15 years ago. So 5 years, 6 years, if you go backward, I see a lot of firms using it, but definitely people can, even for I remember advising them to, even for performance evaluation, to use softwares for that. But I wouldn't say, I would still say it is not how I would say that, it is not that a lot of firms are still not using technology. Now the big thing, all that left aside, the big thing that has come is the AI. Everybody is talking about, it's a
Yes.
fancy, nice word, AI. But artificial intelligence, of course, can do a lot, but it cannot do anything if you don't have a data
Yes.
in the system. And if you have an AI, even if you have an AI with no data, the AI, the artificial intelligence, cannot give you results. So one has to see in totality. Of course, AI can help, but I still feel that firms who are still adopting AI are the large firms, very large firms in India, and they are not yet being considered by the mid or the low or the other smaller sized firms. And I think it's too early for them. And let's see how the large firms use it, how they benefit out of it, and let's see how what they do out of it, and probably then the other firms can also adopt it.
Wow. So now, from your early days to now, what changes have you seen in social media and content creation part for law firms, branding, and especially the stakeholders, the law firm partners?
Obviously, I've seen a lot of change. Social media has come in a big way, but of course, as per our Bar Council rules, so it is mostly used for thought leadership
Yes.
and to showcase their knowledge. And I think it has done a lot of good to law firms to be using social media, for their growth, and to be known in the industry as XYZ firm. So it has benefited. I would say LinkedIn and has does tremendous. Uh, has How would I say, what people don't know about the firm, at least they can know about the firm. Earlier days, we didn't know what the firm was doing. through social media, everybody knows what each firm is doing. So it is also dissemination of a lot of information that is happening right now. And it never harms, I feel, any dissemination of information, which is also is converted into knowledge at any point of time, also is it helps everybody. I don't see how it will not help to know what other law firms are doing.
Yes.
It at least you learn a lot, through that also.
Yeah. So now at Coffee, we are going one step ahead and coming up with a Coffee University, okay, where viewers, learners out there can learn through small videos on leadership, AI, technology, key defining moments, mentoring, so many things.
Yes.
So this is our
At
next
least
goal.
at least you can know some things about me because I'm there on your show.
Yeah, because there are 500 speakers covered in this 5 years journey. So you have to learn about, what do you say, technology. So many speakers are there sharing their
Yeah,
insights in small videos.
Technology
On the
takes you
move.
to a different level. But we need to understand how to use technology
Yes.
for the best interest of you. Obviously, there is nothing like, and it was an era. I still remember early days in legally consulting. We didn't have, I don't think so. We didn't even have mobile phones. I don't remember that. We didn't have mobile phones. I started in 2010. Did we have mobile phones? Do you remember having that we had mobile phones in
The
2010?
pages were there.
Huh?
Pages
were there,
Yeah, so my brother had got pager for me and himself.
Yeah,
and for
so
office team.
2010 we didn't even have mobile phones. We didn't imagine with WhatsApp. Imagine how the conversation now, even every second of ours is used in doing business, right? Because we are on WhatsApp. There was no WhatsApp at this time. When you don't have a mobile phone, you are just lost. So those days we didn't have anything. So there's nothing like technology, of course. The pace of business has increased a lot, and I think because of that we also make a lot more money.
Yes. So, like Bithika, I've done coffee with apna ye Priyan Garg from Cyril, from the corporate communications,
Yeah,
like
I
that from
know.
others. Now their law firms are establishing, well-established law firms have their own corporate communication strategy teams, and
I
small
think
law
this
firms.
part, if you are going to be interviewing Nipun, you should ask him.
No,
He's-
no, I will do that. Thank you for giving me that question to ask him. From your experience, like, how do these corporate communications team complement with your legal team to
we
uh,
have a we have a
develop the law firm management, branding, so many things?
Yeah. We, in fact, one of our main areas of service is branding and visibility. So we have a huge team over there, and they are helping a lot of firms in their visibility. They're defining their branding strategy, doing their personal branding. For some of the people now, they need their own personal branding. In fact, not just branding for their firm and visibility for their firm. So I have a huge team in legally consulting where they are providing these services to law firms.
No. My question was, कि your team and their law firm's corporate communications team, how do you all work together
Yeah, of
and
course they work.
enhance?
Yeah. In fact, I would tell you one more thing. All the areas of law firm management, especially human resources or branding, visibility, in fact, we prefer if we have an in-house person. So we work in tandem with the in-house person, because it's not possible for we are external consultants.
Yes.
It's not possible to be sitting inside and knowing, sitting inside, because ours are more of a supervisory role. And of course, we do give our one person is allocated to the law firm, but we need an in-house person. So we are nowhere displacing the in-house person. No way. We work with them. We need an in-house person to work. It'll be then you can, and we also We also actually train sometimes the in-house, and then we take a role, supervisory role. We train also them. So we do training also in all the areas that we work.
Wow, beautiful. That is another topic. So we do panel discussion, we do fireside chat. So we'll be part of many more conversations. So
Yeah.
next question. What are the key traits, according to you, Vitika, you believe every successful legal leader must possess today?
I think I would not say any successful. I think every leader, let's define a leader. I think leader has to be a person, very, very important that whatever he is teaching or telling others to do, he should be doing himself. Very important. You cannot be giving diktats to people when you are not like that yourself. That's number one. He has to be able to take risks. He should have the courage to, take his team along with him, and and also train them, and not and also find strengths the each one of them have, rather only focusing on their weaknesses. A leader is a person who takes everybody along. He does not only pick up a few people and take them along. That's not a leader. So leader is somebody like that. A successful leader is somebody who knows whatever he has created. Let's say he's created something, he should know how to sustain it also. Very important for a leader to be able to sustain what he has created. I think these are some of the areas, I think some of the things which a leader should have. And I think there is some more things, uh, but I think I would say basically leader should have. A successful leader also, of course, will come to financial bit will also come over there, but I'm not getting into it.
Okay. So, Bitika, my next question. Many leaders talk about institutionalization. What does it truly mean in the legal context?
Now, what is institutionalization? Basically, when you have others also who are competent to be assisting the firm or advising the firm and taking part in the growth of the firm. So it doesn't remain to be a one or two people running the firm. It is again, I would use collaboratively working with others, creating, some sort of a committee, a management committee, executive committee or something where there are group of people, who we call the leadership team. They then run the company, and it makes sometimes the owner and the founder sort of, in the sense the company or the firm runs on its own based on the systems and processes that they have built, not just running because there is that one person who founded it, or is in India, mostly the founders are managing partners in Indian law firms. So they are the ones. And also going forward, I think managing partners' role has to be kind of understood better than the partners who are actually executing. And also there is a third aspect is on developing businesses, that is the rainmaking. So these processes also have to be understood clearly while running the law firm in a more institutionalized way.
Wow, beautiful. So, Bitika, law firms once defined success by billable hours and hierarchy. How do you see this mindset evolving today?
See, obviously, if you traditionally look at it, that if the person is moving up the ladder from senior associate to other level, like maybe he becomes a partner, it is understood that his contribution financially is going to be much more, right? And then there is traditionally billable hours were very important, in the firm. So higher the billable hours, they would judge, how the lawyer can contribute more. But now I think there is a bit of a change. It is not only looking at billable hours, and if you see at a partner level, I would say financial contribution is important, but the other aspects also become very important, like how he's managing the team, whether he can run the team properly, and whether he can not run the team, guide the team, mentor the team properly, because that is also important, and his ability to bring business also. So it's not the hours that he's executing becomes important. It's also the person has the ability to go get the business, to meet prospective clients and convert them. That could be one area. And also, yes, seniority does matter, but it is again not necessary that person who is X PQE level, he's of X number of years in the organization, that he will be contributing. So also I think the new aspect which one needs to look at, and it is now changing over a period of time, is also the culture of the organization. Sometimes it is necessary to build a more a culture which automatically will increase everybody's contribution to the firm. It could be financial contribution
Yes.
or non-financial contribution, because both adds up into the growth of the firm.
Beautiful. So, Bithika, in your recent LinkedIn post, you mentioned law firms are not just institutions of work, but communities of people. How can leadership foster this sense of community?
See, this is again a little bit, it is what I meant to say is that we should not be only thinking that they are just contributing financially. They are also people, they also are human beings, they are communities, so of human beings. So it is not necessary that we should be just focusing on this, that how much they can contribute financially. Of course, that is very important. No organization or no firm can run without any money. Of course, that money is important, but we should not, on one hand, forget. They see our business is such. If you see law firm business, it is the human resources are the ones who are actually human resources are the ones who I would say is like um, they are the ones who actually provide the services,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So it is important for them is to see their intellectual, their intellectuality, or the turnaround time, etc. Is provides the services. Now, if you look at clients, they are also human beings. So it's a service. It is the industry of people. People or the human resources are the most important thing, whether it is the people who are contributing to the services or the people who are getting the services. So we cannot forget the fact, it's not one of those that you are making what do you call, let's say even your cell phones, or you're making cars. So there's a manufacturing process which runs on its own, and then no, here you cannot, everything is around human resources. So that is why we should also look at them as communities of people.
Wow, beautiful. So, Bithika, how should law firm leaders balance tradition with innovation in such a diverse environment?
So I think whatever is best out of the traditions that we follow, one should follow those. It's not necessary all the tradition. Tradition could also be that there was a way we worked. If you see earlier, we never had corporate law firms, we were only litigation firms.
Yes.
So they worked in a certain manner. Even today, I think litigators work very differently from the corporate lawyers. So traditionally, there were only litigators. And then, of course, I feel in 1990, when Manmohan Singh opened the liberalized the sectors, that is when the corporate law came up. Now, corporate lawyers work differently. So, so if you look at traditionally, if you look at litigators, like I said, then I think what else could be the traditional way of working? Traditional way of working for lawyers is that hierarchy and seniority is very, very important. So you cannot just bypass that. They are very particular about the seniority. And they, even today, the senior lawyers nobody addresses them by name. They are, addressed in a different manner. So some of the traditions that are continuing could be followed, but I feel that I personally feel that traditions which are more traditions should be only followed if you think they are necessary. It is not to be followed just because there is a traditional way of doing things. And the other part was that how,
Innovation.
of course, I believe in innovation totally because I have innovated and today also innovating the new services that I have to provide to law firms. I don't think so I can or could have survived if I had not innovated. So innovation, of course, is very, very important. The way you want to service, even for us in law firm management, where we are now introducing new areas like succession planning, we do equity partnership structuring, we are doing mergers and acquisitions amongst law firms. They are all innovated products.
Yes.
So these are not there earlier. We never thought of them that much. Like we were, like human resources could be, but and also within the area, how to deepen them further is also important. So I would say if I have to then of course innovation.
Beautiful. So, Bithika, how do you ensure work-life balance while managing high-stake projects and global collaborations?
I don't know. I don't know what work-life balance is. Every individual in each case has their own work-life balance state. I mean, they define their own work-life. Every individual is different. So every individual defines his work-life balance differently. I don't think so. There is a standard put कि ये work life balance is meaning so and so, and this is what work life balance is. For me, work life balance could be different. I could even think working 18 hours a day and working less hours in 24 hours is work life balance. It is about what your circumstances are there. Like it also depends on the circumstances, not only dependent on the number. Somebody can put higher number of hours of working, some cannot because they have other responsibilities. So I somehow don't understand this work life balance thing. I think if you have a project in hand, if you have work in hand, and if you are being given, you're supposed to achieve it, then you achieve it. I don't think so there's work life balance coming in the way. So if I have to, let's say I have a client and I have to provide I have to give him something on an X timeline, which I have agreed and the client has agreed, and that's the project for me, then I cannot bring my work-life balance. I have to deliver
Yes,
that.
yes.
So I have to deliver. So it I don't know. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No. Beautifully said. When your project is there, so
Yeah, if you have accepted the project or
then you
work
have to
or
deliver
whatever.
it.
Yeah. So otherwise, I mean, or you keep your work-life balance and then give the date to the person.
Okay, good one. Okay, so let's go to your close to your heart, human elevation. What are the activities over there, and what's the story behind naming of this venture?
Yeah, so earlier legally consulting also used to do legal recruitments, and then I thought that's a very different area and I should have a separate company for that. And the human elevation, of course, means elevating human. So when we look at recruitments, we only believe while we do recruitments in elevating the human. It's not only by way of designation. I never meant it that way. It's not that you take one person and you elevate a human, or you elevate a human by giving him more salary. That means elevation of human, or it means you give him a better position. That's elevating a human. It is elevation of a human being in every way. So normally, when at least we work, we look at advising the lawyers so that what is best for them, So it is elevation in that respect.
Wow, beautiful, you said. So my last question for your professional journey round, if you had to give one piece of advice to a young woman lawyer starting her practice, what would it be?
Starting a practice, her own
Yeah.
legal practice.
Yeah, legal law
Or
firm.
law firm practice. A law legal practice.
Yeah, legal practice. Yeah.
See, anything for any young woman to start, uh, for that matter, anything, I won't just go to the legal practice, is that once she has decided and that determination is very important. You have to be determined, and with that, you have to have I'm assuming the person is capable of doing that. Once the capability is established and she's determined to do it, then I don't think so she should allow anything to come in the way. She has to just go ahead and don't give up. What is there to give up? I have seen every problem has a solution.
Yes.
It is, you have to apply your mind and see there is nothing like this, because problems are also created by human beings. So every problem that is created by human being any human being can find a solution for it. So the person has to go in a positive thinking. Do not think that, oh my God, I'm not stuck here, what should I do? Just be positive, be determined, and do not give up. So I think that's the advice I would give any women, or for that matter, anybody who's starting anything,
Wow, beautiful.
or even doing anything for that
Yeah.
matter.
So you generalized it. I like your. Okay, I wanted something for that segment, but you are giving a bigger picture so everyone can follow.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next round, the personal journey, and understand Bithika as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative years.
So normally I don't share this, but uh, my family, I lost my father when I was 5 years old.
Sorry.
And so my mother stayed with her brothers. So we were all together, a big joint family. So I've lived in a joint family. So it was a very nice, good fun for us. And I think, and that's it. I don't know what else to say. So maybe you're talking about after.
Okay.
So once then I got married at about what age? I think 26 or so. I got married, and then I have two children, two boys, who are all grown up, married, and I have a very understanding husband, and very nice. I had great in-laws, very good family. So as far as family is concerned, I think
That's good.
everything is good.
That's good. That's good. So what's that hobby or interest which helps you to unwind and recharge?
Hobby and interest. I like to listen to music. I think that takes my mind off, and I also like watching movies on Netflix. That also kind of takes my mind off. It's not a hobby actually. It is just
Interest.
It's just interest. Like if I have to take my mind off
Wow.
my work.
So which is the book or movie which has left a lasting impact?
Oh my God. I would say is three books. One is Jane Eyre, then is Good Earth, and these two books I still remember. Imagine, I must have read them years back. One is Jane Eyre, one is Good Earth, and there's one more book. Actually, I quite like Nostradamus also. And if I remember the names, that means I must have really liked them. Then I like Khalil Gibran,
Wow.
The Prophet.
The Prophet. Beautiful.
Very nice book, really nice. And of course, there are other books
So
also.
in
But
Khalil Gibran, The Prophet, what did you liked about?
I liked the way he had described each relationship, what children mean. He had explained it by an arrow, bow and arrow. He defined marriage. He defined a lot of things. Very, very interesting. And this I also must have read long back. I think I'm only remembering books which I must have read 20, 25 years back. Because I think since I started working, my reading of books, I think, has stopped.
Wow. We start again.
I should. I will. Hopefully.
This is what Coffee it does that.
Yeah.
So which place in the world feels like home to you, even if it's far away?
Oh my God. I don't know. I think just home. I don't know. Then you feel like home. It's only home. I think that feels like
Because
home.
you have during a conversation before the shoot, you said कि Delhi, अपना Gurgaon, Mumbai,
Of course,
Bangalore.
Gurgaon. I did my studies in Delhi, so obviously my school and college was, so that, of course that feels more home than Mumbai and Bangalore, of course.
Okay. So if your friends had to describe you in 3 words, what would it be?
What? My
Your friends had to describe you in 3 words.
My friends had to describe me. God, I don't know what my friends have to describe me as. I don't know. Really don't know. I won't know that.
Okay, let's pass. But we are thinking of starting a KBC tab, apna dial your friend and asking them. Let's see how it works out.
Me friends, I won't
We'll
even.
dial.
I
We will
don't
dial.
think I have any more friends left after the way I work.
I know.
I don't think so. I
Okay.
can't think
Okay,
of
so friends, we can dial your family, your children, your husband.
Yeah, those people you can dial.
So we are thinking on that part, how it can be managed. Okay. So my last, if you had 1 week away from work, what would you do and why?
I would like to go to a place which is very beautiful, where there's nature and there's a lot of natural beauty, and that's it. I would like to just spend my days, preferably by myself.
Wow.
I
Okay.
enjoy my own company the most, I think.
Yes. That's sweet of you. Okay. My last 3 questions are reflective ones. What legacy would you like to leave behind?
Legacy on that is on ethics, morality, and 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 to give, if you're talking of legacy in my work, right?
Yeah, work. But,
Even it applies otherwise
yeah.
also. It is, it is definitely on morality and ethics and hard work, sincerity towards work, passion. That these are some of the things I believe in. So probably the same legacy I would like to leave behind.
So as we were having apna ye, what do you say, ice baking, and you said that you will write a book. So we will look forward to your book
my book.
and like to cover it in the next conversation. So, okay. Since this is Sri Shakti series, what does Sri Shakti mean to you?
See, I'm also a Durga Ma devotee. So Sri Shakti means to me the 8 arms she has,
Yep.
which depicts a lot of things like discrimination, righteousness, courage, I think happiness, all that. So I feel any women has those 8 hands, and she can multitask with those 8 hands. That was I personally believe, and I think that is, and the energy, of course, energy. How did I forget about energy? Energy also. So I feel that is what Sri Shakti is all about.
Beautiful. And we are on the first day of Navratri. What message would you like to give to our viewers out there for celebrating Navratri?
Yeah, so I wish to all that they all are always blessed in life with whoever they feel their gods are. And I also wish that they discover what truth is and what is the real purpose of life.
Wow. So my last one is a googly one. Describe Bithika in one line.
I don't think so I can be described in one line, but
I know.
But anyway,
Well, you had a paragraph.
No,
paragraph also less. But it's
nahin,
your
nahin,
words.
ऐसे नहीं है. It's not
It's
like
your
I'm,
words.
no. It is. No. It's not that I am so great that you need to define me in more than one line or in a paragraph. It's not like that. I think. I don't know, Bithika. That is, you're asking me that what Bithika.
Yes.
Oh God, I never thought about this answer before.
You take time. We'll go to the rapid fire and then you can.
Yeah, but I would like to give, if you can add that somewhere, cut it and add it, is the meaning of my name. Because
Meaning.
Bithika is a very rare name. Nobody has.
So describe now. You can share the meaning of your name, Bithika.
Yeah. So I have not met too many Bithikas. I've just met one in my whole life. And I was always, concerned and worried to know the meaning of my this thing. And finally, I met a Bengali, and he told me that it is in the Tagore poetry has used the word Bithika, which has been described in two ways. One is like a shaded lane, like there are trees. It's a lane in between the row of trees. And the other is beloved, which the person is loved by all.
Beautiful. Wow. So let's go to the next round, the rapid fire round, and put you in the hot seat. Your go-to comfort food.
I'm not a foodie at all, so I don't have any go-to comfort food, to tell you very frankly.
Wow. Your favorite color.
White.
You're an early riser or night owl?
Neither. I'm in the middle,
One word to describe your journey.
I think exciting.
Wow.
Challenging, exciting, great.
Your favorite song?
Whichever one I remember first. I like that song of Rudali.
Wow. Depth.
But I don't remember.
No, it's fine. Your favorite Indian festival?
Indian festival is, I like Navratri, Garba, and this thing when you do it is Navratri only.
Yeah.
So
9 days of. Wow. Best piece of advice received?
Advice received. Don't give too much advice to people, like only when they ask they give it. Don't give any unwanted advice.
My last one, tea or coffee to recharge?
Tea or coffee?
Yeah, tea or coffee to recharge?
Nothing, I just need water to recharge.
But let's list this.
So mine is
Water. Wow, and you did well. And yours.
I think some of my answers were not like. It's going on. Sorry.
Yeah, last part. So you got 2 books.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me sum up. So as a conversation with Bithika Anand on this Navratri Day special comes to an end, it's clear that her legacy is not just in transforming how law firms are run, but in inspiring an entire generation to think bigger, aim higher, and lead with purpose. Her journey from finance to becoming the face of law firm management in India is a story of courage, vision, and relentless passion. Through her work, she has shown that leadership is not just about titles, it's about creating platforms where others can rise to. Whether you are from the legal field or not, her words remind us that real change starts with one brave step and the determination to see it through. So like that, there are 500 plus coffee speakers who have shared their professional and personal journey. Subscribe, implement in your lives, and you'll see a remarkable change. And we meet with another coffee speaker or a cup of coffee. So take care. Thank you.